Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about The Golden Bachelor, episode 4.
Wait, Blair, before we get into that, make sure I want to tell the people to share, subscribe, like, comment, all the above. We are almost there to 1,000 subscribers. I think we got 300. So please keep subscribing, keep liking, keep sharing the episodes as we continue to give y'all these reviews. Come on, Blair, walk us through this episode.
All right. Well, Teresa felt bad that Kathy was hurt by the comments that she made. Just pretty much telling her about her date with Gerry and how great they connect. Trista, the first Bachelorette, comes in, talks to the ladies.
I guess everybody was happy about that. I didn't know who that lady was.
Yeah. And she introduces the group date. And the group date will be Ellen, Sandra, Susan, Nancy, April, Teresa, Kathy, and Faith. And that means Leslie was left out, so she gets the one-on-one date for the week. Nice. And the date is for them to go play pickleball. Joey comes out to teach from last season.
I know. The first place loser, I guess, from last season, the Bachelorette or whatever it is.
Yeah, and the next Bachelor. Ellen, she tells us that she plays pickleball 4 days a week and she's on the team. She's really into this and she really wants to impress Gerry.
Okay.
April falls on the ground.
Listen here.
And then she lays into Gary's arms.
Listen here.
And tells everybody, go back to what y'all was doing.
Listen here, man. When I saw that, I was like, this is what I signed up for. Listen here. She was walking and she was like, oh, my ankle. And then besides calling for producers or any paramedics, she was like, you know what? Gary's here. Have no fear. Okay.
He got sat right beside her real quick too.
I'm about to say, listen here. You know, when old people fall, it doesn't land right with everybody.
Yeah.
But as she later on tells us, there's nothing wrong with her ankle. You know what I mean?
She said, I'm fine.
She's just falling for Gerry, I guess. I don't know. Heady play, though. Heady play.
Yeah. Well, the women play against each other in a pickleball tournament.
Yeah.
And the winner will be on the cover of a pickleball magazine.
That didn't even know there was a such thing.
Well, Ellen and Kathy won, and they both kissed Gerry.
Oh, man. Gerry, you are the
player.
Exactly, right? I'm starting to think you are a player. Continue.
Yes. Well, Sandra and Gerry have some time to talk, and Gerry brings up how her daughter was getting married. It was revealed during the competition that day was the day her daughter's getting married.
Sandra's daughter.
Yes.
Okay. And
Sandra says that, me and my daughter had a talk, and she was saying that she found her man, so she wants me to find mine. And Gerry felt like it was a really important day, so he helped her FaceTime her daughter. And they kind of struggled with it for a little bit, but they eventually got her up on the screen. And she was so happy about it, and it meant a lot to her that he thought of her in that way.
Listen here. If you decide to go on this game dating show over your daughter's wedding, I have to question your mother's skills. I have to question if you're a good mother, okay? There's no such thing as I got my lover, go get yours on this game dating show. It's one thing if she already had a man, but it's another thing if she's being a contestant on a show when it's your wedding day. I think what happened was, if I was to do some translation, I think what happened was she put in this application to be part of the Golden Bachelor probably months back or maybe even a year ago, and the wedding just so happens to fall during the time of filming.
Yep.
And guess what? I can't get my money back, or I can't move the date. I gotta go. And I think it just came down to, go ahead, Mom. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it was just as simple as, you know what? Find love because I got love. I think it came down to, you know what, Mom, just go ahead. Now, Sandra, I'm still pulling for you because, but still, I'm like, come on now. You need to stop. What's the word? Stop with the pittiness, because I think Gerry didn't have no pity roses this episode. With the sob story, it's like, I'm missing my daughter's wedding. Well, you should have went. I think you should have went, but continue.
Well, Teresa pulls Kathy aside.
Oh, my gosh.
Because she just wants to make sure that they're good. And Kathy brings up the rose ceremony and how Teresa shared too much again about Gerry going into the room to console her. And Teresa is just trying to explain herself that she's just very open-minded and open and talkative and communicative. And it really didn't come from a place of malice. And Kathy just tells her, look, have you heard of don't kiss and tell? And she tells her to zip it.
Zip it. Uh-oh.
You would have thought somebody cussed.
I thought somebody said shut up. You get what I'm saying? What happened with that?
Well, Gerry, he lets us know that after talking to, I think, Trista, the first Bachelorette, she was trying to help him by saying, don't find a woman that you just get along with. Find someone that you really can't live without. That's who you need to pick. I think he needed that guidance because I don't really see how Gerry is choosing people.
Stop with this cliches with the whole, don't find somebody who you can live with. Find someone who you can't live without. You're doing semantics and doing riddles to me. Okay, because if I live with you, you get what I'm saying, eventually I will get to I can't live without you. And don't get to the whole can't live without you because Gerry's wife died. And he's still alive. Not only is he alive, he is putting himself out there for multiple women to choose him.
He kissing on everybody
on a game show. So like I don't like this cliche, but it's Disney Channel. It's Disney, ABC is owned by Disney and things like that. So they trying to sell us this fantasy of like, whenever they talk about love, you hear the strings in the back and things like that. And I like it. Truth be told, even though I'm making fun of it, I'm enjoying this better than the Bachelorette. You get what I'm saying? But Gerry is how much older than this woman that like he's talking to? You get
I don't know.
And then on top of that, he's been married. He know what love is.
Yeah.
I just find it interesting that at this moment, during this time in the show, you usually have an idea of who is a great match for him. And we're at the halfway point, and I really don't see any of these women being with Gerry.
Yeah.
Not one of them.
I just can't tell who his favorites are.
Because he likes everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
And he treats everybody the same. Yeah. Well, Teresa and Gerry talk, and Teresa shares that Kathy says, Kathy goes around telling people or telling Teresa that, you're the one for Gerry. And because Kathy was saying that, she felt like Kathy was a friend to her and she could just talk to her and say whatever. Apparently, Teresa heard Kathy say snippet. So Gerry asks Kathy about her interaction with Teresa. And Kathy says when people talk about their deep connections, it's hurtful to those who haven't had the time. And Kathy explains the rose ceremony situation. And Gerry says, I came out to give you a rose. I tried to console you. So I'm not sure why you're upset with the fact that I consoled Teresa or the fact that she's talking about it. Gerry isn't happy to see the rift. And he actually brings up like the zip it, snippet comment. And Kathy, instead of trying to correct it, she says, well, let me explain to you what that means to me. And that's when she went into saying how people shouldn't share so much. And Gerry just says, thank you. He gets up and ends the conversation. I was like, Kathy, it's a wrap for you. It's a wrap.
For one,
he don't like people being mean to folk.
Exactly, because Gerry, if Gerry had 20 roses, everybody get a rose. And granted, I can understand maybe once you get past a certain age, zip it is like cussing at folks. I thought zip it was nice.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like basically hush. But apparently he don't want to see no elder on elder violence, no older on older violence and things like that. And I don't know what is Teresa's angle of expressing or telling people the dates or how the dates go. What do you think the angles are when it comes to when Teresa's over here sharing information? Do you think there's a motive, or do you think she's really just somebody who overshares?
I think she's an oversharer. To me, it doesn't seem like she thinks before she speaks. She just be talking. So
she's kind of like Kathy said last episode. Is she dumb?
I don't think she's dumb. Like in the show, that's what a lot of these people do. They talk about their dates and experiences with each other, as weird as it is, and that's why we've seen in the past, like what is his name, Braden and Aaron and all these dudes to get mad because of the connections that were growing with other people. Like, it's just part of the show. And I guess Kathy expects women to go about it differently, or older women to go about it differently, but they're not. And as much as Kathy tells Teresa, like, stop telling me this, Teresa's not going to, because I really don't think she can help herself.
And that's why she thinks she's dumb, because, like, I told you, stop telling me about your date with Gerry, but he's just so nice. He's just so sweet. And like, I'm not gonna hold you. Teresa creeps me out, right?
Yeah.
Only because I like that niceness type of thing, kind of like oversharing thing. I always be like, watch that person.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But even with Teresa, I don't even see the connection between her and Gerry.
I don't.
Like, with Gerry, it just comes off as if he's just like,
I feel like he's just being nice.
Yeah, it just I don't feel love. I don't even with these women kissing him, I don't even see no like romantic connection with any of these things. It's almost like a courtesy.
If anything, I would see with Faith or Leslie.
Listen here, I say, Gerry, just choose the youngest looking old lady.
Okay.
That's basically what I'm going with, but continue.
Well, I know you said Gerry didn't have any petty roses to give out, but he did.
Oh my goodness, don't tell me he gave it to who?
Sandra got the group date rose.
So you telling me that Sandra loses at pickleball. Her team loses. Right? But because it's her daughter's wedding,
she gets a rose.
Gerry,
I want to see these roses given out on the strength of your connections. That's why I'm so confused, and I don't know where you're leaning, because you're just giving roses to people who are having a hard time.
I'm so lost. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
She chose to miss her daughter's wedding.
Yeah.
She don't need a rose. Continue.
Well, Leslie gets chosen on the solo date. So Gerry picks her up in an ATV.
Nice.
Back at the house, the ladies are playing Never Have I Ever with ice cream, which I thought was super cute. And a lot of the ladies are pretty freaky deaky, we find out. Nasty. We don't need to go into details.
Nasty.
They went into enough details.
Susan, I see you.
Okay.
You're nasty, okay?
And Leslie and Gerry talk. Leslie reveals that she doesn't have the best picker. She's been divorced twice. She was a single mother, and she's been single for pretty much 22 years, probably on and off dating and stuff. Gerry kisses her afterward, and she says, she's here because of Gerry. She gets a rose, and they get in a hot tub together and get all hot and steamy.
Oh my gosh. I'm happy I missed that.
Well, Sandra's sick in bed because Sandra is lactose intolerant. She was playing this ice cream Never Have I Ever.
Listen here. Sandra.
They're like, we think it's a stomach issue. Everybody was saying that. Sandra, why did you do this to yourself?
Why? You're grown. Do we got to watch after you? Do we got to send your kids to come pick you up?
Exactly. Don't give Sandra dairy, y'all.
Exactly. Please. Continue.
And Nancy, she has a fracture in her leg from when she was playing pickleball.
So she actually the one that actually got hurt.
Yeah, she ain't even fall.
Not April.
Yeah. Gerry pulls Susan, and he gives her a rose quartz. One of the meanings is like strength, and she has a lot of good qualities that he saw in his wife, and he wanted to give her that.
That's nice.
What was funny to me was when Susan went back in with the rose quartz, and Kathy's like, "What's in the box? Open it up."
But whole time,
what does that mean?
But whole time you don't want nobody coming back to tell you anything, but you nosy.
Exactly. You know, the whole time you nosy.
We see you, Kathy.
Right. Well, Ellen tells Gerry that she's falling in love. Gerry kisses on her, and he says he's in the same place. And the last time a woman really spoke to him about falling in love, I guess that kind of connection, it was his wife.
I don't see it.
And he gets pretty teary-eyed just thinking about his wife.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
I see more of a connection with Gerry with the dead than I do with these women that are alive.
Yeah.
Every time, I never even met the wife. Didn't even see a picture. Maybe they showed a picture on the first episode. I don't know. Never seen a picture of Gerry's wife. But whenever Gerry talks about his wife, I can see and feel the connection through his words.
Oh, yeah.
More than when he's with these women that are alive and physically there with him. Yeah. And then I think that's what you're trying to say. We're trying to see a connection of how you are vividly painting this picture of you and Tammy compared to, these women like Helen and Faith and Susan and things like that and things of that nature. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I feel like it could never compare. I think he's always going to have that stronger emotion for his wife. And a lot of these women, he's just meeting them, so it's just not quite there. But like, we're saying, like, we want to see it grow. Like, or at least a differentiation between the women of who is it growing with, who is it stagnant with. You really can't tell, or at least I can't tell.
He really gave a rose to multiple women for the same reason.
Yeah. For
something that, oh, you missed your daughter's wedding here. Mm-hmm. Oh, you was crying during the photo shoot because the first time you put on a wedding dress since you've been married here.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just these pity roses, but it's not because I like you.
Right.
It's like, here, stop crying.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's like, or thank you for coming. It's like, it's no connection, but continue.
Yeah. Well, Nancy sits down with Gerry, and she is just point blank, straight shooter with him, saying, I feel like you've narrowed down your choices, and I'm just not in that group. And Gerry says, I'm not going to argue with you.
What? Not the whipped cream catcher. Come on, Nancy.
Well, okay. So we get to the rose ceremony. So Nancy left.
She self-eliminated herself from the show?
Yeah, she left.
Oh, my goodness.
If I was Nancy, I probably would have left too. I got a fracture in my leg.
Okay.
You ain't give me no roses, no rose course, no nothing. I'm going to go home.
Okay.
And relax and heal.
Yeah, besides making me stand up for the whole rose ceremony.
Exactly.
Exactly. My leg hurt.
Exactly. Well, we get to the rose ceremony, and the women in this order get roses. Mm-hmm. Ellen, Faith, Susan, and Teresa. And then remember from before, the ladies who got the roses were Sandra and Leslie. So April and Kathy leave.
So April, the one who faked the injury, is gone. The one who gave him a calendar where all the months was April.
Yes.
Is gone. And Kathy, quote unquote, the mean old lady.
That'll cuss you out.
Exactly.
Zip it,
snip it, ship it. You know what I mean? Is gone. And Gerry walked out.
Yeah, he did.
He walked her out. And listen here. I understand, Kathy. I don't think you was going to win anyway. But I don't think what you said was so mean. But I just think it didn't need to be said. I don't know why you took personal offense to it.
Exactly.
You could have just let Teresa talk and just let her talk and just let her talk.
I think she was just being ornery.
She was being what?
Ornery.
Meaning?
Just, you know how sometimes people can, or older people can get like stuck on stuff and be like, oh, like get them out my yard and, you know, stuff like that. I just feel like Kathy was just in her little bag.
Well, they go play with her SAT word. You know what I mean? Anything else on the show?
That is all.
Anything you want to see within the next couple of weeks? They go into the hometowns, and of course, we know they are not meeting the parents of these old folks.
Yeah,
they will probably be meeting the children of these old folks.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying, and the grandchildren of these old folks. What do you expect to see within the next less than 5 weeks?
I just want to see who Gerry really likes, and like I want him to give roses to people he's super interested in.
Blair, we got less than 7 names up there. like what do you mean? You want to see who?
I don't want to see any more pity roses. Ladies, pull it together. Act like everything's okay, so we can get a good show out of the rest of these episodes.
Please. Anything else?
That's it.
Y'all be good.
Bye.